Hello guys, welcome back. I'm Tony, and today I'm going to show you guys the intro to Lightroom. And the reason why I created this video is because maybe some our photography club member cannot make to the meeting, and I'll prepare this video for you guys so you guys can check it whenever you guys want to. So, when you begin with Lightroom, this is a face that a screen that you will see. So right here is what you will begin with. And I usually start with by adding photos, and which you click on this, and then you can connect your SD card to your computer, and then it automatically shows up. So, but however, before I start, let me introduce you some of the cool things that it offers right here. So we actually have in Lightroom we have a learning community. If you just click these buttons, you can see that these are different artists, different photographers from different the world. And then let's say like I really like this photo, I can look at it and then it talks about how like the original photo and how the author or the artist edited it to make it look like this way. And then yeah, it's just really a good way to learn. And then I'm pretty sure there's also like YouTube videos that you can look at it. Maybe these ones I think. Yeah, I think they have the if you just click on the learning lab, they'll have tutorial. I'm pretty sure they have videos. They have one by one steps that you can look at. So if we click it in, it'll give you the instruction of what to do and how to make this photo better. So, all right. And this part is where you can make different documents or different files to organize your photo, which is also pretty cool. So some of the members, if you want to take Miss Rashka's class in the future, she also requires you to like make different files so you can organize your photo better. Well, that's one thing that you will learn when you go to photography class. Anyways, let's get started for the lesson today. So I usually start with by clicking the adding photos. Then okay, it's not working. Oh, wait, huh? Okay, hold on. What? Is it issue? Oh, that's strange. That's really strange. What's happening? What? Give me one moment. Oh, all right. So now I've connected to my SD card. So let's open that up. Okay. And now we've entered where I can view all my photos of my SD card. And as you see, this is a new car, so there's only like a couple photos on it. So, one thing that I want to talk you guys about is between the different versions or different file endings of the photo. As you see, this one, and this one, they're the same photos and taken the same time on a camera, but you see, this is ending a ARW, which is also known as RAW, and the other one ends in JPG, which is known as JPEG. So the two different about these ending of the file is that JPEG you can understand as like a pre-cooked dish, like for example, let's say a pre-cooked steak, and then for RAW you can understand as it's just a bunch of like fresh ingredients. You can understand as all the food inside a refrigerator. So the raw ending file contains more information and also give allows you to edit more in the future when you're trying to edit it. How about on the other hand for JPEG, it has less like quality, which means that it's smaller size, which is easier to share to people, and then it wouldn't take such a long time to upload and download it. But I usually on my camera setting I choose to take JPEG and RAW at the same time, so I can use the JPEG to view the photo before I edit them, and when I actually start to edit them, I can use RAW, which is it has more room, so it allows me to edit more freely. If you hop on Google Classroom, I also have the slides that probably can explain more easier than I'm just like speaking right here. But anyways, let's get started. So let me pick a photo. I'm really thinking of this one. So when I'm picking the photo, I always prefer raw. It just contains more information, as I said, so it allows there's more room for me to like move things around. Um, yeah, essentially that's it. So when I open the photo, so right here is your photos, and then these are different buttons, cool features that I have. So and this is so now we're at this photo, right? And if your first time here, you're like, what do I do with this photo? Everything looks so complicated. But I'm here to simple this for you. So the first one you'll see right here is this one right here. So this one is essentially like a filter. So I mean, if you're just really lazy and then you don't want to do any edits, yeah, just like let's say I really like this photo. Oh, it looks very retro-y. Let's say I want this, I can just and then I can customize how much of the filter is on it, which is also pretty good. Um, I mean, most of the time you wouldn't use this, but it's just like a cool thing that you can use. So something really cool about this is that you can preset your own filter, which that basically means that you for example, you want to take a series of like melody sad photos. So you can go to yours right here, and then you can like essentially edit the filters, and then you can make this type of filter your own style, and you can save it onto your Lightroom. So whenever, let's say, yeah, for example, you're taking a series of melody and sad photos. So for the first photo, you just make it all sad, maybe like a little bluish, and then you can just apply that filter to the future photos that you've taken. So which would be way easier. That's something really cool. And also, for example, you can also get some like filters from online from the YouTubers if you're trying to take like a series of like Japanese style and you don't know how to edit, you can always go on Google, go on YouTube and search how other people and if they provide their filter, you can just apply it to your photo, which is really simple, but it's just like a really cool way to establish like colors and stuff. So the second one I'm gonna talk about is this thingy. It's called Edit. So this is like the intro type of thing. And then right here, we see you can control the exposure, the contrast, the highlights, and all the other thing. So let's look at this photo. You see how, so this is my headphone and the background is like aluminum foil. And you see right here, it's a little bit over exposing and it's kind of just kind of affects the objects. So what I will usually do is I'll bring down the highlights, which makes this part a little lighter. And maybe for the dark side, like for example right here, I can add a little bit so it's not that dark. So this is really isn't a there isn't like a really like a best way you can edit. It's just how you want your photos to look. If you want your shadows to be really dark, yeah, sure, you can do this. And if you want your highlight should be really good or really bright, you can also do that. But it just really depends on what you want. And as I said, these are more stuff. Um, if you're interested, just kind of play with them your own. And you have any question? If you want to get deep into it, and like for example, knowing the curve, this is something really complex, and I'm still learning about it. But if you have any questions, you can always ask me. And if I don't know, probably ask Google or something. But this is something. So what I will do with my like, let's say getting this first photo, I will change it to the style how I want. This is like my first process of editing it. So yeah. So let's keep it like this. Maybe a little bit of highlights. That seems really good to me. And now the second thing, which is really simple, it's called crop, rotate, and geometry. So if you click on this, it's basically it. You can crop your photo however you like, and you can oh shoot, not this. So you can rotate it however you like. You can also adjust the size as you want. So as you see right here, my no matter how I go, the frame follows where my mouse goes. And sometimes you wouldn't want that because this is taking a there's like a ratio between the length and width. So if I do this, it messes up the ratio. So if you want to keep like this size, you can just press shift, and however I move, it will just stay in this ratio compared to like going right, left, down. So for example, right here, I don't really like this part that's sticking out, but if I do this, that look kind of weird, huh? And I mess up the ratio. I could just press shift and press the edge and kind of just move it like this. Oh, nope. I just messed it up. You see how this part is a little cropped out a little bit? So I can maybe move this upward and maybe a little bit up. Perfect. And now you see it's in the perfect right ratio, and my subject is not cropped. And then these are some other stuff that you can do. You can rotate, flip, which is pretty easy, simple. And the third one is most of the time I don't use it, but it's just really it's an AI generative tool, which means that it can delete stuff or it can use AI to create stuff. So maybe you have seen like on YouTube where people like um take a take a picture at like the Eiffel Tower and there's like a billion people behind them and they just use like this cool eraser tool to erase all the people, which is really cool. Let me show you guys a really quick example. Let's say I don't want this one here. I would just do and then subtract. Bye bye. So this really powerful AI just removes it immediately. Ah, so now you see now this part is completely empty. Most of the time I don't use this, but you know, totally up to you. So the last one, ooh, this is something I think is really interesting. It's called masking. So this thing is essentially a mask. So what does that mean? So like for example, um, these are some preset stuff. So if I could click on subject, so it automatically just decides the subject, which is that. Uh, well, not this. So, uh, it's okay. Here, we'll just. This is. I guess the AI kind of assumed that this is the subject, but it's supposed to not to. But it's okay. So now, if I select them on the subject, I can make it different from the background. Let's say I want my headphone to be brighter than the background. I could just add a little bit of exposure, and then like some bring down highlights. So now it's much brighter than the background. Also gotta make colors, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? Wow, look at that. Ooh, look at this. Oh my God. So, yeah. So the mask is essentially you can pick on a subject or anything. You can pick on a subject, sky, background, uh, to edit the specific, um, like lighting and color that you wanted. So let me delete this. Oh, not delete the photo. That wouldn't be good. Ah, what am I doing? Okay, it's okay. So let me click on this again. Let's say I want to do something really cool. So I can click on create a mask. As you see, there's different types of mask. So one thing I do the most sometimes is I do this reticle gradient. So what does this do? So let's say this is an AirPod, right? I want some lights pretending that it's shining my air on my AirPod. So I can just make a little thin long line and maybe move it right here. I want the light to shine on my AirPods like this. Uh, maybe like that. This is like the fade. So I want some light to shine my AirPods like that. So I can bring up the exposure a little, and maybe, let's say I want like a morning or like a sunset light, I can just change the temperature. Ooh, look at this sunset light. And then I can make another mask just about right here. Bring down exposure. Wow. I know it doesn't you don't see it that much right now, but this is something that you can play with. You can control the light of a specific spot instead of using this one, because this one I'm just controlling the light like overall, the overall light of everything. So this one, like, you know, really depends on your creativity. You can literally use it however you wanted. So that's pretty cool. And the last thing I'm gonna show you guys is the I call it the time machine. Basically it's just different the different edit that you did, and like let's say I messed up an edit, and then you can just go back to where you saved it before. These are compare from the original. And these are some last ones. So so now let's say I'm really satisfied with this photo. This is like a 10 out of 10. What I want to do is that I want to click on this button right here, which shows like a little up, and then you want to export it as in JPEG large. As I mentioned, JPEG it's really good for sharing. So whenever you finish your photo editing and then that's it, you don't want to edit anymore. JPEG is the best way to like show it to your teacher or show it to your friends, family. So I'll click on that. Oh, and then yeah, you can just export it wherever. So I can export it to my desktop because I don't like to be organizing. And yeah, you right here you see. So now just need to exit out my Lightroom. If I look for my photos, ha! It's right here. And then now you see the edit I have and just such amazing stuff. Anyways, that's a lesson for today. Thank you so much for watching it. I If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach me out. I'm here. Ask any questions. Yeah, but thank you so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out, man.